Grace Valley family, I hope you're doing well today. This is your weekly update. I try to do these every week to speak into your world just a little bit, try to give you some encouragement. I know we are getting close to the Labor Day weekend, so many people are looking forward to getting out of town or at least having a little bit of a long weekend. I hope you can enjoy that. I do hope you'll be able to make it to church on Sunday. If you can't, tune in online. You can watch as we'll be in part 5 of the It Takes a Church series. So I hope you'll join us for that one way or the other. But I want to read this passage of scripture to you. And a little warning, it's going to sound a little strange right off the bat, but I want to explain to you why it's important. And it's Proverbs chapter 25, verse 27 says this: "It is not good to eat too much honey." And yes, that is a real Bible verse. It says it is not good to eat too much honey. And what I love about this, the second half of the passage is going to explain it, but what I love about this is that the writer of Proverbs helps us understand life in very practical terms that we can all relate to. And we all know the feeling of what it's like to eat too much of something, to drink too much of something, to feel like you've gone overboard in some area and now you regret it. You feel foolish for having done it. You feel sick to your stomach because you've eaten too much. Everybody can relate to that scenario. And he uses that to tie in what comes next in the passage, which is, he says, it's not good to eat too much honey, nor is it honorable to seek one's own honor. And I think this is a really important text for us because God knows, and he's coaching us and instructing us, that it is just like it's not good to eat too much of some food and you get sick to your stomach. It's also not good to seek your own honor. And I think this is something that we are dealing with, that every human being deals with. We are self-interested as human beings, and because of that, we end up seeking the things that we think are going to fill us, that are going to make our lives better. We're seeking our own honor. And the problem with that is when we seek our own honor, it turns out just like eating too much honey or eating too much food or whatever, it makes us sick ultimately. It is not the right way to live our lives. And there are so many things that we talk about in our daily life, that we deal with in our daily lives, that end up becoming a journey of self-interest. We are trying to seek our own honor through our jobs, through our hobbies, through our relationships, through whatever you're looking at on your phone. We're all trying to seek our own honor. And so my challenge to you today would be to look at your life, do a quick scan of your day, a scan of your relationships, and a scan of all that you're doing, and just say, God, am I seeking my own honor in these things? Because if I am, it's going to poison these things to me. It's going to make them, this thing that seems like a gift, that seems like something good, it's going to turn it into something bad for me. And so I don't want to do that, God. I don't want to seek my own honor. We know that the scriptures overwhelmingly teach us to seek the honor of God, or seek the honor of Christ. We live for someone who has a greater name. Last Sunday, we sang this chorus. It's actually my favorite worship song. It's How Great Is Our God, and we sing the bridge to that chorus or that song, and it is declaring that we say, Jesus or God, you're the name above all names. And that's really the heartbeat of the scriptures, is that we recognize we live in a world that God created, and we live under his authority, and we live for the glory of his name. So our lives are really not as important as his life. And what's funny about it is when we put everything in its right order, when we put God first and we seek him first and we live for the name that is above every name, then all the littler things in our lives fall into place. We can suddenly enjoy the things. Instead of these things ultimately making us sick or harming us in some way, we can actually put things in the right and proper way in our lives, and we can enjoy life in a different and better way. So that's really the challenge I want to give you. I know that when you go into a holiday weekend, a lot of people do this. You just sort of take the rails off. Hey, we're just going to do whatever we want. We're going to watch things that we would maybe normally watch. We would do things, engage in activities that we know would not honor God. I just want to encourage you. Maybe you would look for ways to honor God in your life. I was in a conversation with a friend this week, and he was just talking about the temptations he's facing in life. And there's a part of me that wanted, in an attempt to try to encourage him and hold him accountable and say, let's don't go down that path. There was a part of me that wanted to try to figure out a way to sell him on the idea of doing the right thing based on how much it's going to help him, which is what we probably all would want to do, right? Let's try to help people understand how living the way God calls us to, doing the right things, being righteous, being holy, let's look at that through the lens of how that's going to help us. The problem is, it doesn't really work if you try to live a holy life solely based on a self-interested approach. And that's one of the dangers is we look at this and go, well, okay, how's it going to pay off for me if I live this way? The truth of the scriptures is we don't seek our own honor just because it's bad for us. We understand that we answer to a higher calling. We answer to God. And because of that, we don't engage in sinful activities, or we put boundaries in our lives, not just because it's bad for us, but because this is what God asked of us. We do it for the glory of his name. We do it to honor him. And so I want to challenge you to change how you think. Not everything in the world, not every decision that we face is based on how does it affect me. Sometimes we make decisions simply because it's what God has called us to. And even if it makes our lives worse, we make that decision because it honors God. And that's when your Christian faith, your belief in Jesus, that's where the rubber meets the road, is when you really decide, okay, I'm going to follow Jesus. I'm going to do it even if it costs me in my everyday life, even if it's hurtful to me. That's what we see all through the New Testament. There are men and women who chose to follow Jesus, even in the face of persecution, great loss, great difficulty, because they were living to honor God in an eternal way, not because it made their lives better in some way. So here's the truth. It is not good to eat too much honey. It's not good to eat too much and feel sick to your stomach, just like it's not good to seek your own honor. If you live today for your own honor, it is going to backfire on you in some way. And that is true in marriage. That's true in your career life, your work life. It's true in every part of life. God has invited you to take everything in your life and point it in a Godward direction. Seek to honor him in all that you do. So that's my challenge for you today. Hope you have a great Labor Day weekend. If I don't see you at church on Sunday, hope you'll be able to tune in online. And then also just remember, we're kicking off a brand new series after this one, It Takes a Church, and it's called This We Believe. We're going to be talking about some of the doctrines that we hold on to and why they're important for us, and really how we can really have a firm grip on the faith that we believe. So hope you'll join us for all of that. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.